Hi, it's Jessica from Toy Making Magic. Today I would love to talk about how we can have a stress-free handmade holiday gifting season. So often when we start thinking about handmade gifts, we make a long list of things we want to make. And in that moment, when we're making the list, we're like, oh, this is so exciting. And we imagine it actually coming true and making all these things. And then, unfortunately, really quickly, that can shift into overwhelm and inaction. And sometimes that means we don't make any of the things we were so excited about. So let's talk about how to avoid that situation. The truth is that just one handmade gift could feel really sweet and special. One handmade gift among the other store-bought gifts that you give your child. And making that goal to just make one gift is going to feel really doable. And once you complete that one gift, then you could check in with yourself and say, do I feel fired up to make another one or not? This is the perfect time of year to get started on making your handmade gifts. So depending on your style, you could literally start making toys right now if you like to get things done way in advance. Or if you know yourself and you're more of a procrastinator, what you can do is at least today or this week, get clear on what is that one toy you want to make and start gathering the tools and materials you need for that. Maybe you have some supplies at home, or maybe you need to write yourself a little list of what you need to buy. It's incredibly helpful to break your projects down into itty-bitty steps. And I'm not saying to make a detailed list of every single itty-bitty step, but to think of your project in terms of itty-bitty steps and just think about what is the next itty-bitty step I can do? And then you do it. And then you think, okay, what is the next itty-bitty step I can do? So I'll give you a concrete example. Let's say you want to make some felt play food. The first itty-bitty step is just to print out the pattern, and maybe that's all you have time for today. Great, you do it and you get to feel good about yourself. Then perhaps the next day, you'll cut out the pattern pieces. Perfect. And the next day, you cut out the felt and set out your embroidery floss so you can start sewing as soon as you find a minute. Check, done, success, you're making progress. You'll be amazed at how much sooner you'll complete a project when you take this approach. Working in small chunks goes hand in hand with the itty-bitty steps. So don't wait for a big chunk of time to work on a project, because it literally might never happen, and the weeks will pass and you won't be working on your project, and you're going to lose motivation, you're going to lose steam, you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel like this always happens. I never make all the things that I dream of making. So embrace working in small chunks. Grab 10 minutes here or there and get creative for what moments you could do that. It could be the obvious, after your kids go to bed. It could be while you watch a show. It could be if you could take a project outside while your kids play. There are lots of little 10-minute moments that you might not be utilizing that well. And we're all guilty, right? Grabbing our phone. We waste so much time on our phones. It's so embarrassing, really. So think about, maybe start to notice when you grab your phone, like, could I use this little moment to work on a toy project instead? If all you can do today is sew a few stitches, do it and call it progress. Here's something that you might not have considered before. Consider making your Christmas gifts in front of your kids. So hear me out. Of course, we love the idea of surprising our kids on Christmas morning, but I'd love to share a story with you. So one of the mamas in Toy Making Magic shared that she was making the farm animals for her daughter for Christmas, and she knew it was going to be too challenging to work on it, when her kids were in bed, for example. And so she decided to make the toys in front of her daughter. And as soon as she would do the final stitch, finish the animal, she would hand it over to her daughter and let her play with it for a few minutes. And then she would say, "Okay, time to put it away for Christmas." And would you believe that her daughter's reaction was, "Oh, I can't wait to have this for Christmas." Isn't that so beautiful? So, I think for most people, we love the anticipation of things. We kind of like knowing what we're going to get, or like hoping that we're going to get exactly what we want and having that anticipation. And that can be just as special, if not more special, than a total surprise. Plus, I can't emphasize enough the difference for kids when they see you make something. They really can't fully grasp how much effort you put into a handmade gift if they didn't see it. And it also might not even feel all that magical for them if they didn't see all the raw materials laying on the table. They didn't see the transformation. And so let's let them enjoy witnessing that transformation of raw materials into magical toy. So what gifts to choose? Let's talk about that. I would say choose something doable. It doesn't have to be impressive like a doll or a big set of play food. It could be something as simple as a big basket of 24 bean bags. And if you're wondering, okay, 24, why 24? I love talking about this. The more like simple toys that kids have, the more ideas they have for how to use them. So if you give them just a little stack of 5 bean bags, they're going to have way more ideas of what to do with 24 compared to that little stack. Because with 24, they might make a tall tower, or they might build a little wall, or like a little boundary around their small world play. They might come up with a lot of games. And really, you don't even have to worry about what they're going to do with it. Just trust that if you give them a whole mess of bean bags, it's going to be like really exciting for them. And along the same line of making lots of something, if you like the idea of play food, what about a basket of 24 strawberries? Or if you have the energy to dedicate to making a full set of farm animals or a big set of play food, then more power to you. Another idea could be a little set of toys that go together, like this cozy little mushroom house and these peg doll gnomes and the playmat drawstring bag. What do you think? Are you getting excited? I'm so curious to hear if you are leaning towards the idea of making just one gift, one special gift, or a whole mess of bean bags, or a little set of like 3 little toys that go together. What is lighting your fire? Let me know below in the comments. Let me know if this video was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. Take care.